Hi there. As promised, I'm here talking about the elements of mindfulness. So I covered, first of all, the first element, which is getting to know your body. And there's a video about that if you haven't already seen it. And today I'm going to talk about the second element, which is the mind. So obviously mindfulness is heavily focused on the mind, and it's about getting to know your own head, I guess. And this was a massive, massive thing for me. And why I've stuck at it, really, because we hear this constant chatter in our heads, and we believe that's us talking to us, and either talking about what's happening around us, or thinking about things we've done before, or things we're going to do. And we have this sort of constant chatter in our mind, which can be really mundane, I guess, thinking about things like, well, I need to go and brush my teeth, or what happened in that TV show I was watching last night, or I need to pop to the supermarket and buy some more shampoo, whatever it is, very mundane stuff. It also works on autopilot, so it does things automatically without us thinking about them. So things like walking, breathing, talking, generally speaking, we can do them on automatic pilot. Things like driving as well, that have become automatic. We don't have to think about changing every gear and braking, and we can take in all around us. So our minds are fantastic at processing information, reminding us to do things. It gives us wonderful memories. We've got a fantastic ability to recount things that have happened to us in the past, beautiful memories, birthdays, celebrations, the birth of our children, wedding days, holidays. And all of this is really cool, obviously, and really useful thing for our mind to be able to do. But what it also can do is that inner voice, that inner chatter, tends to veer. As humans, we tend to veer on the negative. So it does tend to catastrophise events and life. And it also can become very easily obsessed with a certain train of thought. So I don't know if any of you have ever... Well, I'm assuming some of you would have experienced things like guilt of something you should have done, or something you did that wasn't, you felt you could have done better. And your mind will take you into that spiral of thinking and thinking and thinking about it. The same about when you're angry with someone, I guess, and you'll be thinking and fuming about all the things that they didn't do, or did do, or said, or didn't say. And so mindfulness is about being aware of that inner chatter, and making a choice of when you listen to it, because it's interesting or fun or helpful, and when to not listen to it because it's not helpful, and it's just making you feel bad. So mindfulness isn't about stopping bad thoughts, because generally speaking, our thoughts just happen. We can't necessarily dictate where they go or what they do, but it's about being aware of when those thoughts come, and realising that they are just thoughts, that they're not fact. And that's a massive learning curve for me, and obviously something that we explore in great depth when we get deeper into mindfulness. It's also about recognising the inner critic. So this voice in our head that starts beating us up about everything, or the voice in our head that starts to push us to strive for more, or the voice in our head that says we're not good enough, or we won't achieve what we're meant to achieve. And mindfulness teaches you that those voices they're just voices, without sounding like I'm absolutely mad. They are just voices in your head. They're not fact. Just because your voice in your head is saying you can't do something, obviously you still can. So the thought isn't fact. So this is a huge piece, and it's really difficult to cover in such a short live. And as I said, I'll pick up on elements of this in more detail over the coming weeks. But over the next few days, start just to pay attention to your voice in your head. When it starts taking you on a path of that is not helpful, saying you're rubbish, or saying you're always late, or saying that you're a bad mom or dad, or whatever it might be, follow the train of thought for a little while, and then let it go. Realise it is just a thought, and it's not fact. And so just start listening over the coming days to the voices, and work out what tone you speak to yourself in, really. Is it a negative tone? Do you big yourself up, or do you shove yourself down at every opportunity? So have a listen. Don't need to do much else. Just start to become aware of the voices in your head, and the routes it takes you on. Okay? Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.